So I was deciding how to do this. I thought about dropping my original reaction. I did a PlayStation State of Play reaction, which included Suicide Squad, and I think there was an issue with my audio. My audio was a little buggy on that stream. I'm going to have to figure that out. This is all new for me, so I was going to just re-upload that, and I may do that before I drop this video. I don't know. But what I'm thinking about doing is just kind of going over some elements of the game and talk about the things I think were bad or good or could have been better. And then kind of bring up some realities that I think some people probably don't want to admit. Because I do think this game will be good. I don't know if it's going to be for the normal fans, but I do think this game will be good. But I also think it's not going to be maybe what Warner Brothers wants it to be. And we'll have that discussion as we go through the video. But guys, if you like my content, hopefully you stick around. I'm trying to just have a fun community. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for fun. I'm kind of learning too, but this will always be for fun. There's other channels I may do that will be a little different, but this is just about having fun, reacting, talking about stuff. And honestly, because getting older, most of my friends, they don't really play these type of games. They play other games. They play sports games or Call of Duty or whatever. And they're definitely nerds. They like Marvel and stuff, but they're definitely not as deep with it as me. So this is me just to have that community, just to nerd out about some of these things. So if you like that, you enjoy that, be a part of this. Have fun with me. But anyway, without further ado, let's kind of go through this video. We'll pause, stop, discuss, and go on. So, anyway.
Show me what you got.
I'm going to take the volume down just a little bit. Things I think that have
Suicide
worked.
Squad Kill the Justice League is an extension of the Arkhamverse, and it's really about now reframing the story and telling it from the villain's point of view.
Where's it going, and who are we killing?
But
it's a mixture of
they're handling the characters
things I
well.
hope the fans like about Rocksteady, but like a whole massive chunk of new stuff that they've never seen before.
We've always seen Batman's perspective on this world, and we thought it'd be really fun and enjoyable to see this universe, but through the eyes of the villain.
Pause real quick. I appreciate that this guy sees out of this now. Now, this may have been recorded before he left, but I doubt that. So I have a feeling that, even though he's out, he's willing to come do videos about the game, support the game. And since he's one of the OGs, I do appreciate that he's doing that. And I think it's great that he's willing to help try to make this game succeed, even though he's not a part of it anymore.
We're picking up the story 5 years after the end of Arkham Knight, and a lot's changed in that time.
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
Brainiac has invaded Earth, and he's this huge threat overlooking Metropolis. He's taken over Metropolis City. The Justice League are there to try and save the city, but Brainiac has captured and brainwashed them and turned them against the very people they've been sworn to protect.
Oh, fuck, it's Superman!
So the Justice League share the same goal as Brainiac, to take over Earth and turn it into the new Kalu. What we've created is a classic Justice League, but with the sense that there's something wrong with them.
They are now...
That was a good time to pause. I think we can all agree that the story of this game is going to be phenomenal. And this is something I think is going to be different than Avengers. Now, people may not like the gameplay. I'm going to get to the gameplay in a second. People may not like the gameplay, but what I can tell you is that I think we can all agree that the story is going to be great. Now, Arkham Knight probably had the weakest story, because I think we all saw what was coming with Arkham Knight. For me, I would have made Arkham Knight, what's Bruce Wayne's uncle's name? His daughter is Batwoman. Blanking on the name, but I would have had him be Arkham Knight. I think that would have been kind of clever. and it kind of would have made sense, like military and all that stuff, and they could have done a totally different backstory, and like they could have had a brand new DC character that would have been really cool, and they didn't do that. They set up Red Hood. I think not hiding Red Hood, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But I thought the story was still good, though. I thought the story was still phenomenal, even though that was easy to catch. And that was their storytelling is usually the strongest part. To make you feel like these characters. So I think that's going to be the thing that is going to still be phenomenal. I think we can all agree on that.
Doing Brainiac's bidding, and Amanda Waller scrambles to try to remedy this and essentially save the Earth. And she recruits our 4 lovable characters into fighting the Justice League in an effort to reclaim the Earth and thwart Brainiac's plans.
Your new mission is to kill the Justice League.
The members of the Suicide Squad are Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark.
Harley Quinn is definitely the most acrobatic of the crew. She's always moving, she's always flying through the air in kind of barely controlled ways. The feeling of swinging and the momentum and the kind of physicality of it, and trying to keep that momentum going and use that to go over
the
buildings
mobility.
or swing under bridges and chain that into kind of the grapple mechanic that she's got. It just feels
I like this.
spot on.
I know people may not like that, but I like the mobility of getting the characters around. I think that's a good
Deadshot
idea.
has the
No problem
iconic
with that.
Deadshot look, but with a Rocksteady twist. He's got a real swagger to him, and in this game he can also hover with his jetpack. He's super precise, he uses...
Okay, so let's get into the shooting, okay? I think this is me personally. I think if every nerd had their choice, and I don't know if it's even realistic to do, I always hope DC one day just makes a game that's just literally the DC universe, and I'm not talking about the one where you make your own character or whatever. I'm talking about like a AAA game where you get to play the different DC characters and the different worlds and all that stuff, like the different cities, the different everything, right? And the way I thought I would go about doing that, I'm not a game developer, I know nothing about it, okay? But I always saw what I would want to do is I would want to make my Superman and I would want to make my Batman first. And I would want to see how I can make Superman feel the most like Superman, make Batman feel the most like Batman, but then, if I make them fight, what can happen? If I can make them fight together, what can happen? I would figure those 2 characters out first. And then so Superman being, the super powerful guy, Batman being the guy with no powers, and then going from there. And then making every character, be able to work with each other and fit with each other inside a game that clearly would have different gaming mechanics depending on the characters you would play as. And I think that's the only way you could make it work. Like giving Batman a Ratchet and Clank gadget mechanic makes a lot of sense, but probably doesn't make sense for someone like Superman. And how can you keep those characters level? And maybe it's not realistic. It probably isn't realistic. And so they've gone the direction. Now, they do have melee weapons. But they have gone the direction of shooting. And I think a lot of people are upset about that. Because I think they want these characters to be very unique and individual to themselves, but then still be able to be playable. So, for example, King Shark having a gun, they're making it make sense. But King Shark can probably do plenty of damage without a gun. He's probably a character that doesn't need a gun. So, does that ruin people's disappointment? Because it sounds like this will not feel like the same game. It seems a lot faster, too. Now, I say Rocksteady do we trust, but there's a big possibility this game will not be for the main fans. And if this game's successful, the games as a service aspect of this game, if it becomes successful, it might be because people who are not even into comics and everything, but are into shooters, may pick it up. But I haven't heard people's opinions on this. It definitely seems fast. It seems like you gotta like dodge and move around a lot in order to shoot and kill your enemies. Because if you just stand and shoot, you're probably gonna get messed up. But you know, it'll be interesting. Anyway, let's
Sniper
continue.
rifles, assault rifles, and pistols, and they all fit with his.
But I like the
fantasy of
mobility.
playing as Deadshot as this master assassin.
Are you on Team Waller or Team Get the Hell Out of This Mess?
King Shark, to me, as a person, is, well, as a fish, is this incredible character who's super well-read and super well-to-do, and I'm sure could smash an
Like I said, mobility I like.
Actually, I'm the son of a god. It is my shame to suffer mortals and their buffoonery.
but also doesn't really know simple words or simple things that are going on. I think that's brilliant.
In terms of combat, he is a brute. He is a tank character. He can take more damage. His abilities all lean into the fact that he wants to get in a bit more close and personal. He's the fastest melee character.
Captain Boomerang's got
He's
his,
the fastest melee character
that he can use together with his boomerang. He can throw it to
That's
any point of space and speed force to that point along the walls, along the floor, and get wherever he wants to go.
You can use that to get up close, dodge around in midair, taking out the enemies, and then scarper because he doesn't.
Again, they're giving him a gun. Captain Boomerang has boomerangs. Now, they've made the excuse that his boomerang is what he uses to, use the Speed Force. It's like, okay, fine. But Captain Boomerang uses boomerangs. How can you make that work inside of a video game? But they don't want to make that work. They want you to buy, they want you to get the guns, they want you to do the mechanics of a live service game. I don't think that's their fault. Now, I've heard a rumor that originally this was supposed to be a Superman game, and so they made Metropolis, made the whole world of Metropolis expecting to make a Superman game, and so all the cool details and everything were already done, and then all of a sudden, they came back and said, no, we want you to make this live service game, make a Suicide Squad game. And if so, we'll just have to see how much love was put into this. But I have to say, I know people are doing it, but it's definitely a lot better than it seems that the Avengers was, the work that was put into the Avengers. It seems like they looked and saw what happened to the Avengers and was like, if we're going to do this, we got to be prepared. We got to make sure we're ready to drop new content after we're ready. I mean, we're going to have to make a big deal out of this, I've always thought a live service game could work, but you got to be true to the characters. Because that's the people who are going to be playing this game aren't worried about gears and stuff. People that are going to be playing this game are going to be a bunch of nerds who want to play as these different characters and experience what it would be like to be King Shark or Captain Boomerang or Deadshot or Harley Quinn for real, like the way that those characters would actually fight in the comics and the movies and the shows. And if you're not willing to do that, they might be disinterested. And we'll just have to see. I don't mind it being a shooter, but that's definitely something that needs to be considered.
Doesn't want to stick around.
Don't worry, guys. I'm here.
One of the most exciting parts that connects our game to the DC lore are the support squad.
Piss off, Widow.
You have
So the
Penguin,
characters are cool.
Bomb Stealer,
You're making
Like I said, I think the story's going to be
but
good.
also some new faces.
I don't think they're going to have the same
There's a
mistake.
digital ghost that is helping the squad both navigate the world but also upgrade their neck bombs.
That's a big adrenaline spike on a nice bomb sending out.
This.
Toyman, who's helping the squad with perfecting gear.
Yeah.
And then finally we have Gizmo, who is helping the squad with insane vehicle creations that let you blow shit.
I like Gizmo's look. I mean, he's a Teen Titans character,
You're
but
going to
I
get
like
to
his
meet
look. I
different
like they kind of
characters,
made him.
different villains,
I like
and you
the way
really
they
get to
look.
see these cool, iconic locations.
Being the city of tomorrow kind of meant a stark contrast with Gotham City, which is very dirty, it's always raining. And that contrast with a city that's very grand, it's very clean, it's very functional.
The huge difference between Metropolis and Gotham is that Metropolis really acknowledge and really trust Superman. So there is a lot of statues to thank Superman for everything he's done.
See, like I said, I think we're all in agreement that the world and everything's going to look amazing. I think we're in agreement there. All that stuff's going to look incredible. It's not going to look as bland as Gotham Knights did. I was very disappointed. Well, Gotham Knights I started to enjoy because at the end of the day, I play games kind of a LARP. You know, I like to play as these characters, you know, as like I did as a kid when I used to play with toys. Now I just kind of make them, I just kind of put them up and make them look good. But, you know, that's the reason I play these games. And, you know, like I said, we'll just have to see. I mean, I don't know. I think we're just going to be repeating ourselves, you know. Here, I'm going to mute it. Because, like, right here, you know, the gun sets, changing all the different guns and everything. A lot of people are not going to like all this, you know. But I could see people who do not play. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's a good game, it's a good game. And maybe the comic fans aren't going to be as interested. But I could see guys who are into shooters really liking this. Especially if you could go against each other. So we'll just have to see, you know. I like the costumes. I love that. I love that costume, Captain Boomerang costume. I think all that stuff's good, you know. Like I said, I think they still need to show us some fighting. You know? I think they still need to show us that. I think you're going to have to move around a lot to make this, to not get murdered. I'm very confused where the melee is going to come into it because all the enemies I've been seeing are not melee type enemies. They're enemies that you definitely want to shoot and stay away from. So, I don't know. We're just going to have to see. But guys, you know, the acting I think is going to be phenomenal. Like I said, we've already talked about that. So, I don't know, guys. We're just going to have to see. But anyway, let me know your opinion. Are you just not into this at all? Do you think it's dumb? You know, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And guys, hope you have a good one. Peace.